Trump's only show.
Not news. Here is an illustrated summary of the news happenings at home and abroad.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Brock Lawley program. My name is Brock Lawley. Thank you for joining me. This is the segment we tackle news headlines, sifting them out like the chaff that they are. That's what they are. They're chaff. The alphabet soup, the Democrat Party, the statists. It's all one. It's all one. Different words, same meaning. Sift all that garbage out. We serve them up to your ADD reality television show, Kardashian Minds, on a silver platter of rhetorical deliciousness. That's the show in a nutshell. Let's dive into the stories. Trump with another 2 huge W's. Big old wins. Stacking them up like the New York, like an overly financed, overspending New York Yankees franchise. But, A-Rod didn't really deliver in that World Series, so maybe this is not analogous that the Trumpster would like. But nonetheless, Michigan goes down. Mississippi goes down. Big W's. We're going to win. And if Cruz can't win Mississippi, ladies and gentlemen, that's not good. That's just not good. It really isn't. I'm just shooting you straight. I love Cruz. How's he going to win Ohio? How's he going to win industrial states if he can't deliver on Mississippi? It's not looking good for the other candidates, and it's certainly not helping Cruz that there's a whole bunch of tailwind draft by way of Kasich and Rubio not delivering any W's at all. Sanders surprises. This is one of the biggest political upsets in the last 100 years or something like that. Polls had Hillary up, 40 points or something at the jump of this. It won't matter in the end because the superdelegates and the corrupt, evil Democratic parties already baked this cake. And let me tell you, it has Hillary Clinton's name all over it. So it's not looking good for the burn. And the burn might have the populace. But that would only be applicable inside of a democracy, which we certainly do not have a democracy. We do not have the will of the people. And that, of course, is exemplified on both sides of the aisle. There is not a desire to give the electorate its will. You have the Republican shenanigans. You got the dark rooms, the shady, deals on that side. And then the Democrats are just more flagrant about it. They're just open. The superdelegates will deliver their support for Hillary Clinton regardless. So Bernie's sort of spitting in the wind. I have a sneaking suspicion, though. I still hold on to this. Bernie's in the race to make Hillary seem moderate. Also, I think Bernie just likes to be on the stump preaching Marxist socialism. I think it's really what floats his boat. I think it's the wind in his sails. I think it's the wind under his eagle wings, all those Celine Dion analogies. And, as long as he can do that, the grand prize is not really that big of a deal to him. That's just a theory I'm floating. Wall Street Journal has that piece. The Wall Street Journal hates Donald Trump, and pretty much they devote like half of their paper to derailing him. But they basically say Trump wins because there's divided competition. I'm not so sure about that. I mean, Trump's dipping into the blue dog Democrat well. It's not just Republicans that he's getting. So I'm not 100% sure these editorials are really hitting the spot. But the editorial board at the Wall Street Journal they're beside themselves. These guys have to understand the Wall Street Journal, and I like this paper. It's the only paper of note. These guys are just political wonks. They're Washington insiders, and they just cannot believe that this bombastic, boisterous, fly by the seat of his pants character is just running circles around them. And they can't do anything. All the ink they spill in these papers doesn't do anything, doesn't move the needle at all. They're just beside themselves. New York Times is the same way, but for different reasons. New York Times writes a piece, World Opinion, ladies and gentlemen. World Opinion. The very valuable and coveted World Opinion does not like Trump. To the New York Times, this means something. To me, it means nothing. If anything, it's a feather in his cap. Seriously, a feather in his cap. And by the way, are our allies impressed with our present president? I can show you a lot of YouTube videos with dissidents non-verbally and verbally giving him a tongue lashing, scoffing at him. Putin on the world stage running circles and spitting in his face. So this stuff is just nonsense from the New York Times. And by the way, if the world opinion is shining on you in this present situation, 2016, you're doing something wrong. Because the world opinion is godless, moralless. It's got blood all over its hands. It stands by and watches genocide and evil run roughshod, does nothing, and gets his pennies in a bunch over CO2. I mean, the world opinion to me is worth less than a turd that my 1.5-year-old drops off in a diaper. Less than that. I value the turd more than world opinion. Friedman knows Trump, by the way. He knows his heart. Friedman is a radical, beside himself, derangement syndrome leftist. But he knows Trump, and he wants you to know that Friedman can crawl into the psychological depths, the corners, the caveats of Trump's psyche, and he delivers it for the Upper East Side. Know-it-all smugness crowd. And by the way, Friedman, anybody reading your piece that didn't want to vote for Trump before does now. So I assure you, you're having the opposite effect. The opposite effect, my friend. American tourist murder in Jaffa, victim of stabbing. It's been tough to take, by the way. The good, the noble, destroyed by the evil, a waste of precious life, and for what? We pledge allegiance to the disgraced and desecrated flag of America. Multiculturalism, ladies and gentlemen, alive and well. The school pledges allegiance to international flag. Pull your kids out of public school, my friend. Pull your kids out. I mean, if you think for a second about how that would hit your grandfather, your great-grandfather, it's just, I mean, this stuff today is like eye rolls and boy, that's a shame moments. But the past would have taken this so much more seriously. And the reason is because they understood that these things have far-reaching implications. It's not just the thing itself. And I'll tell you, it is heartbreaking. Because I'm a citizen, because I'm a vet, it's just heartbreaking to see it. Leftism just destroying everything. Public education completely owned by leftists. Granted, your children can't read and write, but they know how to salute an international flag. Obamacare starts to experiment with rationing. Democrats denied it. Republicans and conservatives told you it would happen. Sure enough, it is, forcing doctors to use very specific medical tools, forcing doctors to use specific drugs. Great for Obamacare, I guess. Great for the government. Not good for patients. Of course, that would be the presumption that this whole thing had anything to do with patients, and of course, it didn't. Drives a wedge between patient and doctor. It's unaffordable. It's a disaster. Every single day, another reason to flush this down the toilet bowl of bureaucratic hell is presented us as people. Wall Street Journal has that piece if you care to look into it. Obama getting ready for new Israeli-Palestinian peace incentives. Of course, you do realize after the Iranian deal, this has got a snowball's chance of hell of happening. Obama has less than zero credibility. He's all but an anti-Semite in Israel, and that's probably because behind closed doors, he's all but. Democratic Party constantly undermining Israel. It's remarkable to me. Anyway, this is all about Obama pontificating, Obama having little medals on his chest, even if he has to create them out of yogurt caps himself. The Iran deal, by any rational mind, is nothing but a failure, but Obama walks around like a proud peacock with his feathers sprawled about. One last chance to stick it to Israel, by the way, before he leaves office is really what this boils down to. Wall Street Journal has that. And lastly, striking Palestinian teachers blow whistle on PA corruption, the Palestinian Authority corruption. European and American donors. The Americans and Europeans give money to fund fat cats and terrorism in the Palestinian Authority. Then the Palestinian Authority turns around and blames Israel for problems. That is a fact, ladies and gentlemen. Again, GatesToneInstitute.org. GatesToneInstitute.org. Yesterday I told you about YouTube kicking off Palestinian Watch Media from social media, Facebook now, kicking off the conservative Facebook pages. Frack Nation, the Facebook page of Frack Nation, the latest to be totally censored by Facebook. And I've known this is going on because I've had posts taken down, not offensive posts, not posts with graphic pictures, none of that stuff, even though I don't think that stuff should be taken down. No, just conservative commentary, just opinion that clearly these leftist CEOs Do not want to hear. This is spreading. This is unbelievable. What was once lauded and celebrated as a chance for the little guy to have a voice over the media conglomerates and over the lies and over the powerful, rich noise now just becomes a statist octopus squid tentacle of silencing. And it is totally heartbreaking to see this. Again, leftism does not value free speech. It simply does not. Evidence constantly before your eyes. Ladies and gentlemen, sadly, that's the world as it spins under leftist rule. Be a people of fortitude, character, and abounding courage.
Typical white person.
À Broclo, les productions.